This instructional video will explain and demonstrate specific areas to be included when conducting an informal handwriting assessment. The examiner should be attentive to the student's posture, grasp pattern, left-to-right orientation, letter placement / letter size, and word spacing.
To measure a student's performance in handwriting, there are 4 areas that need to be examined. These 4 areas include domains of handwriting, legibility, writing speed, and ergonomic factors. Domains of handwriting involve writing the alphabet in both uppercase and lowercase letters and numbers, near-point copying, far-point copying, and transitioning to cursive. Domains also include writing dictated words such as names, addresses, and telephone numbers, and composition such as writing a paragraph or story. Legibility consists of several components that include letter formation, alignment, spacing, size, and slant. The most important aspect of legibility is readability. Writing speed is the student's rate in which they write numbers and letters per minute. Ergonomic and environmental factors influence one's handwriting performance, thus the biomechanics of posture, upper and lower extremity stability and mobility, and observable grip are evaluated. We will be addressing the first domain along with legibility and ergonomic factors in this video.
Prior to beginning any type of handwriting activity, it is imperative to initially assess and correct improper posture and positioning of the student. Your initial assessment should include the student's lower extremities, trunk, upper extremities, and head. When working on handwriting activities, the ideal posture and positioning of the lower extremity is to have both feet flat on the floor, knees at 90 degrees, and hips at 90 degrees. The student's trunk should be upright, and the pelvis should have a slight anterior tilt. The student's arms should be bent at 90 degrees or less, and the writing surface should be no higher than 2 inches above the elbow. When engaging in handwriting activities, the wrist should be slightly extended, and the non-writing hand should be used to stabilize the paper. The student's head should be a reasonable distance from the paper, about 12 to 20 inches. If a student is not properly positioned during writing activities, their energy is diverted from the activity and expended on posturing themselves. When a student is constantly posturing themselves, they are unable to use their non-dominant hand or non-preferred hand to stabilize the paper. Additionally, the quality of their handwriting decreases. If the student continues to have a problem maintaining an upright posture, a simple solution is to angle the writing surface 20 to 30 degrees. Angling the student's writing surface prompts them to develop a more upright posture in their chair due to bringing their paper and pencil closer to their body. As a result of sitting up straighter, the student's breathing will improve and they will consequently become more alert during classroom activities. Writing on a slanted surface can also improve the student's pencil grasp by causing the student to unconsciously position their wrist in slight extension and their hand in supination. An alternative solution to creating an angled writing surface is to turn a 3-ring binder sideways. If necessary, you can tape 2 paper clips to the binder as a way to secure the paper and assist the student with stabilizing the paper.
As children develop, their grasp pattern moves from immature to mature grasp. The first grasp that children develop is the palmar supinate grasp at the age of 1 to 1.5 years old. In this grasp pattern, the writing utensil is held in a fisted hand with the point of the writing utensil on the 5th finger side of the hand. In the palmar supinate grasp, the entire arm is moving as a unit and it is considered an immature grasp. The next grasp the child develops is the digital pronate grasp at the age of 2 to 3 years old. In this grasp pattern, the writing utensil is held diagonally within the hand with the tip of the thumb and tip of the index finger on the writing utensil. In the digital pronate grasp, the arm is moving as a unit, and it is also considered an immature grasp. The static tripod grasp develops at the age of 3.5 to 4 years old. In this grasp pattern, the child will grasp the writing utensil between the thumb and pad of the index and is resting on the middle finger. In the static tripod grasp, the hand is moving as a unit and is considered a mature grasp. The dynamic tripod grasp develops at the age of 4.5 to 6 years old. In this grasp pattern, the child will grasp the writing utensil between the thumb and pad of the index finger. The writing utensil will rest on the first joint of the middle finger and is considered a mature grasp. In the dynamic tripod grasp, only the writing utensil will move because the intrinsic hand muscles are what the child is using to write. This is the progression of grasp development. A child's visual spatial skills is what influences their ability to do left to right orientation. Left to right orientation refers to a child beginning their writing on the left side of the paper and moving to the right. Preschoolers typically do not have left to right orientation. This is a demonstration of correct left to right orientation.
Some recommendations to improve a child's left to right orientation are highlighting the left margin to show the child where they are supposed to start, or placing an arrow at the top of the page going towards the right as a visual cue for the child.
During an informal handwriting assessment, writing on the line or letter placement will be observed by having a child write on a lined piece of paper. You will notice that tall letters may go above the top line. Letters with tails go too far below the bottom line. Letters are not touching the line at all, also known as floating letters, or letters are placed through a line. Possible interventions for correctly writing on the line include a pictorial scheme, colors, raised paper, a star spacer or cutout rectangle stencil, and an upright orientation. For an example of a pictorial scheme, the top line that is highlighted in blue will act as the sky. The middle green line will act as grass, and the lower brown line will act as soil. For the letter H, you will instruct the student to start at the top of the sky, touch the soil, go up to the grass, and back to the soil. You can also use 3 different colors that the student likes. This will remind the student that tall letters like capital T have to touch the pink line and go to the blue line. Letters with a tail, such as a lowercase y, will touch the purple line and go through the blue line. And small letters, such as the lowercase a, will touch the purple and the blue lines. Another way to help students write on the line is to use an upright orientation. This way, you can instruct a student to go from top to bottom instead of on a horizontal surface where you have to instruct the student to go away from themselves or towards themselves. Using raised paper can be used as a tactile cue to help students write on the line. An alternative method is to take liquid glue and paste a couple layers over the line. Once it dries, it will serve as a raised line. A star spacer can be purchased online. The star spacer is placed over the line for the student to write inside. The border of the star spacer prevents the student from writing outside of the line. The student will move the star spacer from left to right as the student writes along the line of the paper. An alternative method is to take a piece of cardboard and cut a rectangular space in the middle. That is the width of the lines of the paper that the student is writing on. This will serve the same purpose of helping students write on the line.
Word spacing refers to the size of the space between words. It should be distinguished from letter spacing, which is the spacing between the letters within each word. Spacing words too close or too far apart will create issues for children when they read their own work. Word spacing coincides with the child's ability to read, which will help them have a better sense of where words start and end. This is the correct way to space out words. This is the incorrect spacing due to the words being too close together. This is the incorrect spacing due to the words being too far apart. Recommendations to improve word spacing include having the student place their index finger in between every word as a visual cue to leave enough space between words, having the student dip their index finger into an ink pad and mark a fingerprint between words,
having the student take a breath or say the word space after each word, providing verbal cues to the student such as move your pencil over before you start the next word, letting the student review their own work to determine if there are spaces between the words, or have the student read their work to see if it makes sense with their current word spacing.